All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Had a great weekend. I got to baptize 3 adorable babies. It's a lot of fun. Always love a good baptism. But yeah, so this week it's going to be a little truncated because there's only today and tomorrow. Thursday, I am away on my retreat and won't have a stream next Monday either. But we're going to have some more fun with Yeez. We're getting close to the end. We're getting close to the end of this game. Gotta turn it down because this game gets loud. So last time we were here on the Isle of Siren, a lot was happening. The end of the world happened in an epic anime betrayal. We traveled back in time again and got Donna a new form. We're going in here to fight a boss so that we can unlock more knowledge. Perfectly normal stuff. Crusos, the eternal golden soul.
Here goes.
Yeah, wrong button. Excuse me, let me attack you. No, I said let me attack you. So how is everyone today? Everyone have a good weekend? Anyone do any fun adventures? I thought I unlocked the AI. AI cannot words. Who gave the ancient robot lasers? Who thought this was a good idea? But I'm supposed to be able to see the invisible things in this outfit. Why is he going invisible? Oh, I see. It's only if I'm close enough that I can see him. See. I will stab your ankles until you die. That fight went really well.
Here goes.
Ooh, treasure. Garment of many tongues. Sorry, what? Flash Guard heals HP. Oh, that'd be nice if I tried to use Flash Guard more. An archival monolith. It might contain some useful historical information. I must do all that I can. The capital's relocation was progressing without delay. The energetic Light King did not shirk a single duty during the transfer. He focused on paving highways to other nations and other infrastructural endeavors. One day, while the king was deeply focused on making history, a woman came to visit him. A beautiful princess from the provincial nation, who brought with her a letter. Princess Baha, hey, like the tower, is as lovely as the summer peahen, and sings more beautifully than an Orson harp. Her beauty so enchanted the king that it would come to be chronicled in the tome of 5 histories. He fulfilled his royal duty while courting the princess in equal measure, before finally deciding he would make her his queen. The two were wed on the same day that the capital's relocation was completed. The wise king's marriage was celebrated throughout the nation. Provincial Princess Baha premieres Paragons. On the outskirts, a great spire called Baha Tower was erected in honor of their new queen. The queen asked the tower be dedicated to the research of essence and medicine, which quickly garnered her much admiration. She was dedicated to her people, and their well-being was never far from her mind. But she was a frail woman, and often confined to her bed due to illness. Because of his queen's condition, the Light King ordered a construction of a villa near the capital. It was built by a beautiful lake in the western region of the kingdom. Unbeknownst to the Light King, this decision would bring about unmitigated disaster. That escalated quickly. There's so much information in here about the Light King's personal life. I bet historians would be shocked to read some of this. The lake in the western region is where the Valley of the Kings is located. Why did the villa become a tomb? What is this disaster?
Fact is stranger than fiction, isn't it? Hi there, lady. It's been a while.
Io, I'm glad you're safe. Given the condition of the capital, I was really worried about you.
Yeah, can you believe it? But you knew something, didn't you? About what just happened. About what's going to happen.
What?
So, what are you gonna do now?
Io, are you?
Io, are you even
Nothing will
Eternian?
Huh?
No matter what difficulties await me in the future, I want to help those in need until the very end.
Really now? So you are the one.
The one what?
Sorry, lady. I actually came here to say goodbye.
Huh?
Didn't I tell you? I was looking for something. Well, I finally found it.
Wait, this is so sudden.
Those ellipses are not in the right location.
Well, goodbyes usually are. But you gotta promise to see me one more time.
Then it's not much of a goodbye.
Sure.
Okay then. When the time comes, I'll find you.
Okay. I still have questions I'd like to ask you too, so I will wait for you.
Thanks, lady. See ya.
I had a hunch that Io was no ordinary kid, but... Alright. I must perform my duty. I need to work hard so I have good things to tell Io.
And there's one more door still. Work hard to make the ghosts happy. Yeah. Basically. Nope. I was playing a lot of a game that used the Xbox layout for controllers. So my brain is like, A and B are reversed. Except this is a Switch game, so no, they're not.
Here goes.
Aha, the bugs are weak to being squashed. Imagine someone just going through their house with a hammer to take out ants.
Here goes. Change. See something.
So yeah, I guess this is... Yep, that's all that's left to take care of for now is the main quest. I understand what A and B are, where they are on the Nintendo controls, but you don't understand X and Y. What? You don't like X on the Y-axis and Y on the X-axis? It's so that in proper orders, because you have like A, B, X, Y. It's whichever one is alphabetically first is higher.
See something. This looks nice.
No, in fact, you do not like that. I am shocked, Gale, that you do not like
No, a guard.
things that are not organizationally appropriate. It should be around here. What are you doing? Beyond here is sacred in the forbidden Valley of Kings. I cannot allow anyone to pass. Wait, you're... Lady Donna? What are you doing here? Still, we can't allow anyone to pass, not even the maiden. I'm sorry, but I need you two to go to sleep for a bit. What do you think you're doing? Planting a tree. The Maiden of the Great Tree. What are you doing here? Why have you come to the Valley of the Kings? Depending on your answer, we may need to detain you. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I think I need to lay low for now. Aha! Sudden tree. What was that? Sometimes you act in very surprising ways, Donna. Haha, she's like the main character of a book. This is so meta. We were in a crisis at the time, and I had no other choice before me. Let's keep going. The Valley of the Kings is up ahead. The time has come.
Yes.
It's a little scary, but I think I'll be okay. In my time, I completely devoted myself to my duties as Maiden of Great Tree. It's been a long time since I've done anything for myself like this. It feels strange, actually. We have... Yep. Someone has a new skill. At all. I'm gonna keep Aura Blade. And then I want to check side quests really quickly, see what... Hunt Valkyra. We should probably do that side quest really quickly. Let's go get this treasure chest and then we'll go. And we can warp back to that crystal. Back really quickly. What are my... Brain, please. Switch back. What's my adventuring gear up on? I could replace that with the running thing again. Oiron. Oh, you're here about the Valkyra, is that right? It's this really vicious thing, lives in the northern reaches. Honestly, no one in the village would stand a chance against it. That's why I want you to take care of it. I'm counting on you. How am I doing on the map total? Oh, I think we can show him the map.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, let me see. Yes!
Oh, great job.
I'm glad it's progressing this well.
This is a special one.
Spirit elixir. Yes, you want more map. Oiron is hungry for map. Can I make any medicine?
Hello.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
Please come again.
Oh, this is convenient, because that monster is, or that hunting we need to do is where we're headed anyway. Yeah, we can clear this out really quickly, too. Because, again, clearing things out on the map, it all adds up.
Something there. Come on.
Yes, I would like to make a help request. Little Apero calls everyone. Clear it out.
Thanks, guys.
A rope ladder is in place. Well, that seems a lot more useful. That also doesn't seem like it would have taken 21 people. Oh, hey. There's a person. Ooh, strength elixir. It's Loxia's butler. This cup I found in the ruins seems a tad too large. The tea would turn cold before I've even finished filling the cup. That looks like another survivor, but... What kind of person throws himself a tea party? Bronze? Is that really you? Do you know him, Loxia? Seems she does. Mistress Luxia, I've not seen you in ages. I didn't even notice you'd appeared. I'm so glad to see you're safe and well. I think this is the only butler I can think of in the I mean, I've played 2 of the like 10 Ys games. This is the only one. But yes, he is very hyper competent. Same as ever, I see. You tried to save me on Lombardia and you ended up falling overboard. But I've known you long enough to know that you'd be fine. As your butler, I'm honored that you place so much trust in me. Besides, I know how to swim, unlike you. Oh! So I was never in danger of drowning. So how have you been faring? Once again, you've snuck out of Roswell Manor to wander about without a care in the world. If I had to guess, you had a far more relaxing, carefree trip in mind. Were you finally able to find answers to all the questions you've had? Yes, actually, and I'm sorry that my actions put both of us in danger. So stop being rude in front of my friends. Character growth. Your friends? And did you just apologize to me as well? Haha, it seems you're undergoing some rather drastic changes, Mistress Luxia. As your loyal servant, I could not be more pleased. Enough already. So he works for her or something? I guess, but they act like they're really close friends? Franz looking stylish.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. I am Franz, butler to House Roswell. It would appear that you have been taking care of Mistress Laxia in my stead. I hope she hasn't proven too difficult for you to manage.
He's really more of a valet if you think about it. Nope, she hasn't. Isn't that right at all? Laxia has been very helpful. It would seem my mistress has surrounded herself with good company. By the way, your name is Adol, was it? I must disclose that I find you quite fascinating. I'll be keeping a close eye on you. This guy don't seem like your normal hoity-toity butler. Yes, though he speaks out of turn far too often, he can accomplish any task. Look at that, hyper-competent. In fact, I've never seen him struggle to do anything. Really? His clothing is impeccable for someone who washed ashore here, and plus he's been wandering the northern region of the island all by himself. He must be very skilled to do that. You'll be a great big help at Castaway Village. Welcome aboard. Haha, you honor me. For my mistress, I will gladly offer my services to your village. I am very pleased to meet you all. Yay, Franz has joined Castaway Village, and we now have Vista Ridge 100%ed. Oh, we can get that treasure chest. There's a lot of cleanup I want to do today, apparently. But we got the key to this treasure chest. In Donna's time. Sarna, it's downstairs. Windy vestment. Might be a... There's some things that only the female characters can wear. Is it an accessory? Is it an aesthetic? Donna, why do you have no armor? Yep. It wouldn't be a material that we should use that on at all. Oh, it's an adventuring gear thing. Heal more HP by standing still. Yay! That's actually really helpful. Because that'll be great. Okay, we need one more person to clear that. I think this question mark is Big Monkey. Need 2 more people. So don't remember how to get into there, but oh well. We'll go here. And we'll keep pressing forward.
Thank you, everyone. To be honest, I was happy you came for me.
Just don't do that again.
Because we can do Hunt the Valkyras. We have 2 question marks. This is great. There's so much to mark off. Did-
Happy we're together again.
Okay. Oh, those must be the Valkyrs. Yep. Well, they certainly are tanky.
What a unique item.
Hey, we mastered that skill. I hope that means it's more powerful. I found it very comedic the way it just like goes, oh, I'm dead.
There's something.
Is that enough? No, I think you'll tell me. Adol is tired of all of this. Quick, while it's stunned, just wail on it.
I got even stronger!
Defeated the Valkyra. Hey, Step Zero, good to see you. I had another meeting at 2 o'clock, so I just had to push the stream back. And Gale has redeemed a father joke. Well,
All right, let's clean it up.
what did the digital clock say to the analog clock? Look, no hands.
Thanks, everyone!
The gravel was cleared up thanks to everyone's help.
The submerged cemetery.
Well, let's put on the glowstone. Aha! That's how we get to there. Let me breathe underwater. Acidic liquid. Why are we just picking that up? I thought this was the underground cemetery, not the underwater. I feel lied to. Hey, an information tablet. Soundless Hall.
Nice place. A treasure chest.
Does this mean Adol is looting a grave? I must give that formula to someone else, because that was not... Ah, it's an apothecary formula. Okay.
Rare catch. Yeah. was so dark and scary, I thought I was gonna wet myself.
Sahad, why do you say things like this?
You better not, or else.
Dragon Crest. Ooh, a life elixir. Yeah, 100 HP when my HP is in the 3000s. Huge difference. Okay, so the cemetery is done. So back to here. We're going all over the place today. I need the gloves. Nope. And I need the run feathers.
Oh, something's there.
And now I need the walk on water boots. Except I actually need to breathe underwater. Sink down, Adol. Sink. Oh, that is a big, big thing. Jump your way out of there. That's how you jump, right? This is some soupy water. No, no. I just want the treasure chest. Okay, now we'll leave. Now we'll revive Adol. Quick, Adol, eat this eat this berry. It's good for you.
Keep going.
Yeah, let's go.
And then run away! I bet you wouldn't be so scary if you walked on top of the water like I did. Now your chat feed, you see Gale has redeemed a father joke. That doesn't show up on your husband's? Huh. I did see it. I did, and I made one. It was terrible. I said, what did the digital clock say to the analog clock? Look, no hands. Am I grabbing the wrong side of this? I feel like that's what I'm doing. Oh, hey, Adol's almost gone. But we have new gear for that. Oh no, they're coming for me. Okay, y'all handle that. I'm gonna heal up here. Yeah, sometimes it's better to just let sleeping dogs lie. I know there's a way on top of that giant mushroom. I want to say it's right there, but like I can't seem to grab it. This is so much faster. With that new gear, that's all. Yes, Sahad. Treasure. It's where I am making my way to. Slowly. Ow. All I wanted was the treasure chest. Ow, 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 ow. Wow. I'm pretty sure that statue had a head in the last view, but okay. Are we gonna make camp? This is the Valley of the Kings, where the former rulers of Eternia were laid to rest. We finally made it. The sun is starting to set. Let's set up camp here, Adol.
So even maidens weren't allowed to come here, huh? Graves spooked the hell out of me. I'm surprised Donna came here alone.
I agree. For someone who
What the-
seems so reserved, Donna, you often take rather bold courses of action.
We'll do that after this cutscene, Step 0.
So you're saying she's reckless?
Hummel! It's okay. Olga used to say that about me too. But I wasn't always like this.
Really?
Yes, when I still lived with my family, when my mother was still alive.
Do you understand, my darling Donna? Then I want you to promise me something. Promise me that you will never take off that ring. It's for your own good.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've had the power to see visions of the future, but not every future I saw was a happy one. To be honest, I wish I'd never seen most of the visions that have come to me. Many of them were scenes of pain and suffering. When I was still little, I became withdrawn and depressed from all that I had seen.
That would be traumatizing as a child. It'd be traumatizing as an adult.
My mother could tell something was wrong, so she tried to help me by giving me a ring. This ring blocked my connection to Essence, which sealed my power to see visions.
Listen carefully, Donna. The world is a happy place, but sometimes it brings hardship for what feels like no reason. Most people don't want to accept the bad things, so they look away and pretend they can't see them. They do that because their hearts are delicate, and that's not always a bad thing. But you're such a caring child that I know how hard it will be for you to look away. This ring will help you live your life like everyone else, no matter where you go.
After I received that ring, I was finally able to have a normal childhood.
Donna's mother is acknowledging healthy coping mechanisms.
I never felt safer than I did surrounded by my parents' warm, unshakable love. Then one day...
Mommy!
A fire broke out in the shed while my father and I were away, and took my dear mother's life. Had I not sealed my powers, I would have foreseen the accident. I would have heard my mother's voice crying for help. I felt remorse for sealing my power for the sake of protecting myself. From that day on, I vowed to prevent as much suffering and sadness as I could, to never turn a blind eye toward it.
Father, I've decided. The houses visited by the messenger are said to receive blessings afterward, right? And if I do become the maiden of the great tree, I'll be able to help a lot of people. I want to do this to honor Mom.
How awful, Donna. Since then, I've always felt like I would fade away if I didn't prevent enough suffering. I would get so scared that I would just act without thinking sometimes.
I mean, it's a noble goal, but she's taken so much on her own shoulders.
And then, I'd just cause more problems for Olga.
Donna.
That's heavy. I don't know what to say, really.
It's all in the past now. Anyway, sometime tomorrow we'll be searching the tomb. We should all get some rest.
Yeah, with great power does come great responsibility. But there can also be such a thing as a messianic complex where you assume that you are the only person who can save others and that only you can end their suffering, and that's unhelpful in its own ways.
Good luck on the search!
But the Rotata actually kind of ties into what Donna's mother was talking about, that sense of sometimes bad things happen. Christ opens the gospel today with the line, "Sin is inevitable." And he pulls us into this interesting tension between the reality of acknowledging that big crystal up there, that yes, sin happens. We sin, others sin. It causes hurt in relationships. What have I not explored? Haven't done down there. And yet we're also called to be forgiving, but forgiving doesn't necessarily mean that you ignore the hurt that has happened. So this tension of being forgiving, seeking a future together, and knowing sin will happen. I want to try this again. I seem to recall just really struggling with this in my own personal playthrough and eventually just getting it. Lots of tries. Try that later, actually. I changed my mind. Ooh, we missed a treasure chest up here. No, that's okay. I just want the treasure. I'll leave you alone. I said I'll leave you alone. Then we have randomly not explored this little corner down here, so we'll do that real quickly. We'll turn in the quest, and then we'll go back to the dungeon. Ooh, a dragon tree treasure. That's the one that revives you. Why are you all here? So the only place we have not explored is that upper level, and I can't figure out how to get there. It's very obnoxious. I hunted the Valkyra. Hey, I'm guessing you defeated the Valkyra. That'll be a big help when we push into the northern reaches. You have my thanks. And there's also your reward. Take it.
We did it!
Ooh, 2 strength elixirs.
Take your time. See you later.
Okay, nothing to trade up for. Great. Let's go back to the Valley of the Kings.
Yeah, let's go! Treasure!
Oh, an empty bottle. That's nice.
Ah, we're not alone here!
We can try to avoid it. Won't be easy.
Yes.
I don't know.
Only there was a way to get
Seemed
around.
pretty easy to me. Oh, it gets back up. That's a problem. Oh, that fell. Another Hermit's Remedy is nice. That's like 10,000 XP.
Treasure chips.
Force Armor. Not Force Armor, Force Armor. Why does this game have such quiet cutscenes and then such loud combat? Nope, that thing's getting back up again. Time is to be running. Let's Mamba. It's okay, you two. We can leave that alone. We don't have to fight everything.
Stronger again.
Foxtrot moves further than the Mamba. Okay. I guess. I'm going to take your word for it. You don't have to fight everything. You call yourself a gamer? Yes. Yes, I do. You know, we're going to have a meal. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just give out all a level and then he'll be healed. This dungeon is quite large. Because we've only explored 40% of it. Essence stone. Stone, the essence of dirt. I feel like I missed something this way, where I fell off. The answer is I did. A treasure chest. Ooh, 2 treasure chests.
Freeze manual.
I prefer my freezes to be automatic. How about your breathing, manual or automatic? Neither. I don't. Breathing is overrated. Hey, that kind of door looks familiar. Yeah. One of your brethren poisoned me, so I take my vengeance upon ye. Ow, ow, ow. Why does flaming hurt so much?
I can keep going.
I'm beginning to think Adol is made of paper with how much burns hurt him. Like, it did almost half my health.
A treasure chest.
Oh, come on! Make me go back up again just for that. Run, 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 run. I'm surprised that wasn't a boss fight. Because it sure looked like a boss arena. Oh look, we're probably going to find out the way out. Purifying Bell. Oh, this is Essence equipment. We used this during the Requiem ritual.
Oh? Used it for what?
We used it to purify tainted souls. With this, we can defeat the twisted souls of the undead that roam this place.
Oh, nice!
Whew, that's a relief to hear. Those things are so irksome to fight. Although I guess we are technically trespassing in this place. Haha, lucky for you two, huh? We'll be able to cover more ground now that we can defeat the undead. The tomb continues deep underground at all. Let's continue making our way forward. I thought I explored the whole underground. Hey, we can defeat these statues and things. So he'll stop coming back. Uh...
Now we should be able to purify the souls of the undead.
Okay, do me a solid, dead.
Called it.
Duxagriel, warrior of undying glory.
Did he just stab himself? How's your day? Oh, I watched a skeleton stab itself and then have fire shoot forth, so you know, just normal Tuesday. It's anime. At least one villain has to stab themselves to power up. Fair enough. Actually want to watch the burn while I'm here. Okay, we got about halfway. Seems just spamming this attack is the most effective. I say as I run out of SP and can't do it. Oh! He's powering up again. Ow. We did it! Everyone levels up. So, further into the basement, eh? Well, that's easy enough to get to.
Stronger again!
Okay, so that wants some fires lit, I guess. Or unlit.
Lucky us!
Because I've explored everything else. Unlit, like undeath, sure. We need to unalive the fire. I wish the game would at least give me some direction there. Oh, unless it's defeat these 4 things. I don't know, I like the idea of we didn't stat the fires and we have not collected its statistics. The statistical data of the fire is unknown to us. Yep, that's what we have to take out. Because we're getting some cutscene action. Oof. Who's next? You're next. Strength 10, Dex 17, Con 16, Intelligence 6, Wisdom 10, Charisma 7. Is that your new character? Is that your Baldur's Gate 3 character? Oh, base stats of a fire elemental. We have now statted the fire. I like the one walking in place right there. It's like, yeah. We keep getting level ups, but I also feel like we're pretty powerful already. Schmoovin'. It do be schmoovin'. I want that. I want those items. Don't make them disappear. Yeah, there he is, schmoovin' again. Eins mehr. Hey, there we go. We got the starry shells this time. Whoosh. Deeper we go.
direction of the statues was the key.
Yeah, we solved it without even looking at the puzzle. So it's really not that hard of a puzzle. Where was that treasure? Is it up there? I guess it must be. Yep. So I think to get there, it looks like we want to go this way. And then up. So this one, I'm guessing, must be in here, yes. No, Adol's fine. Everything's fine.
Keep going.
Treasure chest.
Oh, that almost ended poorly. They hid the stairs way in the corner to go up on this one. Leave me alone, I'm just trying to replace the statues correctly. So we've had them facing forward, towards each other, away from each other. How much you want to bet this last one is facing away. From us, the viewer. It's honestly just easier to jump and dash over these gaps than try to walk them, except for this one. This one's too long. Wind Guide! I think that is... Yeah, another Adventuring Gear slot. Oh no, we have giant... I'm going to call these princess monoliths because it's the royal tomb. goes way down. Lucky us indeed, Sahad. Or your wrist. It's a shame this statue has no reverse function. Really digging the track of this area. Oh, there's so much treasure still in this area. But I got that treasure chest. Oh, there it is. Oh, shoot. I did not see how that one was perched. I just fell off there. I have no excuse. You thought you had the high ground. Oh look, it makes a smiley face. Sun talisman. Guessing that's a an accessory. Yep, extra gain up as HP lowers. That's actually pretty nice. Ooh, and a hermit's remedy. I have a feeling there's going to be a save crystal just around the corner, so I'm not too worried about Adol's health. Hey, look, there's a save crystal. Okay. I just want to make sure I've explored everything, because I'd hate to finish this area and then be like, oh, look, you missed 0.5%. Ooh. Ooh. Basileus, a cursed tyrant of eternal night. Its name is based pretty strongly on Basileos, which is Greek for kingdom, interestingly enough. Okay, I've defeated all your minions. Ah, that's what I thought would happen. I really dig this boss design. I think it incorporates some interesting elements of, like, priestly garb and also, you know, the classic Grim Reaper's look. Can't really quickly follow what all is happening in these fights sometimes. Yeah, that's why I just tend to, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just disassociate during these fights in Ys and think I do the same thing in Kingdom Hearts. You just have to pay attention to the right details. I am being ghost hoovered. It's a good thing I can make those medicines very easily now. It's almost dead. It's like 1/16 of its health left to go. There we go. So we just walked into a tomb and we were like, yo, what up? Thought your audio had dropped. My audio had dropped, but your headphones are just breaking. Oh dear. You should get some better headphones. Now we got a flamestone so we can do better crafting. Or better swordsmithing. That's sweet. Oh, it's this room. I know this room. Remind me why one of the characters is named after cheese? There's no reason. She's just ricotta. You think so? I agree. Compared to other places, it seems noticeably different. The structure of the room and the materials used appear very old. This place is in rough shape. Is that a collapsed bridge over there? You okay? I'm fine, thank you. I think I may have been here before. There seems to be a room further back. Let's continue ahead. This room is super important for the rest of the game.
Huh? What's this?
Looks like an old mural.
I wonder if that's supposed to be the Great Tree of Origins. But this depiction...
You could interpret it as the Great Tree destroying the world.
What could it mean? I thought the Great Tree brought prosperity to the Kingdom of Eternia.
It did. Until it didn't.
Donna, look! That looks similar to the monolith we saw in Baja Tower.
What's your question,
It's no
Step
use.
Zero?
I'm not authorized to access it.
Who's there?
I've been expecting you. I knew you would come here one day.
Hey, this is the person in the past we saw talk to Donna.
You. But how?
Where'd you come from?
They appeared out of thin air.
That person was in Donna's memories.
Those robes! What's going on? Aren't you from the past?
It's been a long time, Donna Ecclusia.
Who are you and why do you have access?
It seems you have not yet fully restored your memories. You must have been surprised to see that mural. The Great Tree of Origins evolved Saurians into Eternians and brought forth prosperity. That is a lie, propagated by a faction of Eternians to instill reverence for the Great Tree.
A lie?
The purpose of the evolution fostered by the Great Tree is not to develop a species. Rather, it selects a species that can withstand the environmental changes and rejects those that cannot.
Are you saying the Great Tree is like a giant evolution computer?
Whoa, what does that mean?
As the mural depicts, the Great Tree will periodically bring about cataclysmic events. Those who manage to adapt and survive receive its protection. The rest are pulled accordingly. This cycle of selection and rejection is the true purpose of the Great Tree.
I mean, a little, Step Zero.
Why? What purpose does this serve?
And this is exactly
It
how
is
evolution works,
necessary
right?
To sustain the world's continued existence. We call this culling of life the Lacrimosa.
Like the title.
Eternia's extinction was but a single Lacrimosa. It could not be avoided.
That's crazy.
Assuming you're telling the truth, then who are you and why are you here?
to observe your current actions in light of your refusal.
Refusal?
Today, I have only come to greet you. I look forward to witnessing the full extent of your obstinacy.
Wait, I still need to know.
They vanished.
The great tree destroyed Eternia? That's gotta be a lie!
We're not in a position to reliably assert that, though. There is so much we still don't know. You're right. Perhaps the best thing to do right now is re-examine the situation.
Donna.
It's okay. I'm fine. For now, we should leave this place.
Okay, we can leave it. Yeah, so this is part of the game where it's like very what? Because like the giant tree is now the cause of the end of the world.
Found Adol!
Oh,
Found
hey.
Adol!
What's going on, Peril?
Many primordials! Castaway village! Emergency!
Well, I think we're gonna go fight a
Many
tree.
primordials! Emergency! Emergency!
Primordials?
That's hardly newsworthy.
Big ones. There weren't so many of the giant flying chickens before.
Adol, perhaps I'm overthinking it, but... do you think the primordials might be displaying more unusual behavior?
Might be onto something.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm worried about the village.
Yes, let's head back at once.
Yeah, chapter 5 finished. There is one more chapter. We are on the home stretch of this weirdness. Now, I really do like this game, but it is weird. A mural in the Valley of Kings. To think that the true purpose of the Great Tree.
Yeah, it sounds like a fairy tale. No, it sounds even crazier than that. I don't know what to make of it, really.
And this robed individual who revealed this seems mysterious, too. What the hell are they? I thought they appeared in Donna's memory. Would that mean they're from the past, too? High Vest count in this group? That's because vests are stylish, Gale. Does that mean any other Eternian survived besides Donna? Only we knew more. They were in the Valley of Kings, and they knew the secret of the Great Tree. Even if they were an Eternian, I have no idea who they could be. If Donna doesn't know, then there is not much else we can do, I'm afraid. But if they were telling the truth about the Great Tree... Nope. Raid. Oh. Let's continue this conversation later, Adol. Chapter 6. Lacrimosa of the Distant Sea. Do we have any side quests now? Nope. Oh, you found another flamestone.
How can I help you today?
So I could enhance it, or I could just go straight on to
Leave it to
its
me.
next level.
Whew,
Hyperion
complete.
Blade.
I'll get started. All right, finished.
Erendite. Oh wow, I didn't even do the last reforging on that. Oops.
All right, finished.
Mercurius Blade. So we did all of that, and we were way under leveled on our gear. Oops.
All right, finished.
Glamdring.
Leave it to me. Whew,
Leviathan
it's complete.
Axe. Yeah, that ups Sahad's attack by 50.
I'll get started. All right, finished.
Apocalypse.
Leave
It's
it to
such
me.
an edgelord name for a gun. Does it reforge
All right,
into
finished.
Orcrist at some point? That is a great question.
Leave it to me. All right, finished.
Caduceus.
I'll get started.
The Caduceus turns into
Whew, it's
Corona
complete.
Iliad.
All right.
Oh wait, I want to talk to you about some armor.
How can I help you
Do you
today?
have new stuff? You do. Yay. Yeah. I guess the
Leave
equivalent
it
would
to
be the
me.
gladiator
Whew,
armor.
It's complete. Leave it to me. All right, finished. Leave it to me. Whew, it's complete. Is that it?
Hey, by the way, ever hear of Ara grass? It's very rare and used as an ingredient in special medicines. I was able to find lots of them in the northern region of the island, so I've added Ara grass to my trade goods. Come and check it out if you want. It's a very oddly specific thing.
Hey, welcome!
Oh yeah, you can just buy the Aura grass fighter
See you
helmet.
later!
Let's make some medicine. Hermit's Remedy, nice. No, I didn't want to talk. Sorry, Lex, you're a cool dude, but
What do you need?
I really just needed medicine.
Here you go. Please take care.
Actually, I want to check something, just out of curiosity. Where is it? Quest story. Ah, help. Our reputation is 154, so we need about 40 more reputation. One thing you can do is every raid, the higher a score you get, the more reputation points you get. So I might off-stream redo the other raids to get a better score.
What do you want to enhance? Roger, give me a sec. All right, it's done. Roger, give me a sec. All finished. All right, I got it. All right, it's done.
It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Roger, give me a sec. All finished. Roger, give me a sec. All finished. All right then.
Gonna see if I can get some Essence Panzer to get the stun effect on the barricade.
Hey, welcome!
While we're here, we are running low on this, actually.
This one is special!
Sweet, we can get two. That's
This one
exactly
is
how many we
special.
need.
Oh, done already?
What do you want to enhance? Roger, give me a sec. All right, it's done.
There we go. We're pretty well.
All right then.
Let's do this.
Let's do our best!
Level 60? Ha! That's what I am.
Looks like they're here.
Thank you. That was helpful.
I'm on my way.
Get away!
Please follow me.
Over here!
fact, last time we did a raid in this area, we couldn't get up to that area because we didn't have double jump yet. But it's nice to be able to cut them off. I'm amazed that thing survived that. Adel, attack it. Not around it. That'd be better if someone would help me with the giant tentacle monster. Dang it, one of the barriers fell.
I am honored.
How impressive! A perfect target!
Coming!
Let's do our best!
Go! Laxia!
1 second, please!
Watch over. You on the offensive! Victory is ours! Good situation report! Finish line, don't move! Nogi squad, don't
So we'll finish up this raid, and then that'll be the perfect place to call it for the day.
Surprise! Surprise attack! Are you alright? Everyone take care!
Thanks for the help.
Let's end it! Battle report! Squad, even!
I'm not going down.
Quit jumping away from me. Dang it, another barricade down.
A surprise attack! Be careful!
I'm not going down.
Bring it on! Battle report! Battle report! Don't move! Nogi squad, hold on a second.
No, they're fine. Dang it. And alert. Oy vey. I don't remember if this one's 3 or 4 waves.
Just what I would have expected. Good, good.
I'm guessing 3 waves because we're getting a cutscene. There are a lot more primordials this time around. Yes, and they're behaving strangely in the northern region as well. Perhaps the two are related. Maybe it's related to the Lacrimosa. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, he's ugly. No, it looks like it's raring to fight. I can't do the voice all the time. That primordial. It's coming. Brace yourself.
Everyone, just a little
It's coming, except now it's not.
Big one coming through! Let's make things interesting! Everyone, get ready! Alright, let's start fixing it!
Oh, that was easy.
Don't let him break it again!
How lucky.
Well, you're welcome.
Damn, that's good.
Thanks, Iron.
Good to go! We did it, everyone!
Yeah, good job.
Celebratory hops. Step 0 has redeemed a father joke.
What a great job.
Wow, that's great.
Pretty good.
Double A, not bad.
Wow, that's good.
I scored a battery. Oh, that was a tough one. No, it wasn't. That one was easy. At all. I've never seen that species of primordial before. It's because it's not a primordial. Is it an evolved one? No, it's different. The span of primordial history is longer and more diverse than that of humans. I think the primordials we saw predates the Eternian era. I see. No wonder I didn't recognize it. Why did it appear now? I'm not sure. Uh-oh. Huh? Oh, man. Sounds like more visitors. We seem to be popular today. Haha, this might be too intense. We should get Doki and the others to help us. Speaking of which, they haven't even shown up. They might be struggling on their end as well. Aw, guess we gotta do what we gotta do. Welcome to Denovian Park. Welcome to the Cambrian explosion. Anyway, for your father joke, did you hear? Scientists recently weighed rainbows. Turns out they're pretty light. Though Adol and the others managed to fight off the primordials, similarly intense raids continue to occur without warning, day and night, forcing everyone to remain in the village. Thankfully, they had enough provisions, but it was becoming clear that in due time the castaways would be overrun. During a lull in the beast raids, Adol and the others decided to hold a crucial meeting.
Man.
This is the 4th day in a row. It feels like we're under constant siege. This situation is clearly getting out of hand. Where the hell are those damn things even coming from? If we don't do something soon, we're gonna get starved out. Even if we dip into the provisions we've stocked for the ship, that'll buy us a week at most. We need to act now.
Easier said than done.
In a situation this desperate, charging blindly will do more harm than good. If only we knew where the primordials were coming from. Maybe we should focus on figuring that thing out before anything else. Thanks to Donna, we have the ability to warp. If we use that ability between beast raids, there might be hope for us yet. That could work. Given the circumstances, we must choose our destination carefully. We need to warp somewhere that will allow us to effectively assess the island situation. The mountaintop. Yes, that location provides the best view of the entire island. Though it is dangerous, it's still worth checking out. Haha, I knew you had all. If you head there right now, we can hold off the beast for the time being. We'll do our best to support you for as long as we can. We're counting on you, Adol. I hope we can. We'll use Pero to keep each other posted in case one side needs reinforcements. Is an evolved primordial still a primordial? Well, I think it depends on how evolved we're talking. I mean, a sufficiently evolved Homo erectus, it may not be a Homo erectus anymore, but still be within the genus of Homo. You know. So it depends on how they classify a Saurian, or a primordial, I suppose. But that is the perfect place to call it for the day. We made it into the last chapter. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. Join us again tomorrow at the normal time, not a later time, for more... what were we playing? Kirby Superstar on the Super Nintendo. That's what we were playing. So join us for more of that. Like I said, there's no Thursday stream. I'll be away for retreat. No Monday stream, as I'll be driving back from retreat that day. We'll be back next Tuesday with more Kirby. So hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, all that good jazz. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care, and God bless.